Now the current situation. The prosecutors in Taiwan would not allow me to attend my own trial. I had a broken body at the time. All of the psychiatrists in Taiwan refused to provide the court with a mental assessment about me, a forensic mental assessment, which means I need to spend a day at the mental assessment center and really thoroughly be evaluated. They wouldn't allow me to do that. And two individuals can prove to the court in Taiwan that I am not guilty of the allegations from the cram school, but I needed help to bring the witnesses because the witnesses didn't want to testify. There is also the issue with the translation of documents. The court refused to translate its documents to me, which is actually against international law. It's actually the prosecutor's job to make sure that I understand the allegations. They refused to help me to understand them as well. On the 2nd of May, 2024, I arranged a meeting with the prosecutors. I was trying to plead with them to please adhere to the law, to follow the law. But the prosecutors refused, and they basically told me that I either had to go to jail right that day or I had to arrange for payment. Because in Taiwan, I guess if you're rich enough, you don't have to go to jail. So the cram school didn't lie to me. They told me that the government would just let me leave, and the government did just let me leave. They let me leave Taiwan. On the 8th of September, I arrived in Vancouver. That is also the same day that I filed a petition to the Constitutional Court of Taiwan to reevaluate the corruption of the High Court in Tainan City. On the 13th of May, I was still sleeping at the Vancouver airport because I didn't have a place to go and I didn't have money. So I spent 5 days sleeping at the airport. A little bit like Tom Hanks in the movie The Terminal. Very much the same, actually. I find out that the lawyer who represented me in High Court was arrested and charged with running an organized crime syndicate. The judge was also in on it. There was money found in the judge's office. He was using the information of criminal cases to absolve the actual criminals by taking a fee from the criminals and then helping the criminals to circumvent the law and pushing it all down and paying off the prosecutors and the judges and all that sort of stuff. Like, it was a massive ring. So all of that aside, I'm now in Canada trying to get a fair trial in Taiwan with no money. I get kicked out of the airport. I wind up, well, I had nowhere else to go, so I went to the hospital, went to Vancouver General Hospital, and there I saw, well, a social worker. I'm not allowed to give names according to YouTube. So I saw a social worker at the Access and Assessment Center, and the date of that was the 14th of May. And she recommended that I go to the Catholic Charities Men's Hostel. And I'm not sure the order of those words, but those 4 words. At 1056 Comics Street in Vancouver, and I did, and I got a bed there, and it's a homeless shelter run by the Catholic Church, the Archdiocese of Vancouver. And then the weirdest thing happened, because my life is weird. So, the employees of the Catholic homeless shelter actually and unlawfully committed criminal harassment against me. I mean, like, in the biggest of ways. So everybody there was thinking that I was saying that I'm better than they are, which is definitely not true. I was trying to fit right into a new situation and learning my environment like I'm always doing. I'm kind of clueless about things usually. So I ask a lot of questions. Anyway, it annoyed a bunch of people, and one guy got verbally abusive outside, and he threatened me. I mean, severely threatened me to the point where I just begged him and pleaded with him outside. When I opened my eyes, he had decided to walk away from that one at the moment, but I was just outside the shelter. Then inside the shelter, another guy gave me a weapon, and he said that I should defend myself against assaults like that. So I asked the Catholic homeless shelter employees to report that, but they wouldn't report it. As a matter of fact, they just closed their eyes to it. And there was a lot of other issues, like they were leaving their locked storage open. I was able to take a 360-degree video of the locked storage. You know, I should probably put that in the video here. Hi, so I'm at the Catholic Men's Hostel, Catholic Men's Charities Hostel at 1056 Comics Street in Vancouver, and I'm in the storage room, which is the locked-in storage room of the other bedmates. So I just want to check with Andrew to make sure, because there's really nobody at the door, like at all at the door. So I want to make sure that the locked-in storage is actually open use, that all of the people can just go through all of our stuff here. I just want to make sure, okay? Like literally, I can literally go through all of these bags right now. Is that okay, Andrew? What are we gonna do about this, please? But anyway, there's not a lot of respect toward the homeless people. The employees don't have respect toward the homeless people. And when I told them how afraid I was, one of the employees came out and he told me, "You're in trouble," and he really wasn't joking about that. And he actually told me that I needed to have a second baptism in order to be kind of accepted into the employee gang as being reasonably worth at least equality, because in their opinion, I wasn't baptized, or I was a heathen, or I was whatever it was. But I've already been baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and my son was already in a Catholic kindergarten for 2 years. So we're after the same God, or working with the same deity. Unfortunately, they didn't believe that they required a second baptism. Then I offended them more because I was trying to take a video of the guy that was threatening me so that I could have something to report to police. On the 28th of May, the man that was outside, he did not tell me that his name was F me. He told me that he used the whole F word. I didn't think it was appropriate, and I don't want to repeat that F word. So I just use F, and we should understand what we're talking about. But it's, when you look possibly taller than I am, and you're definitely more muscly than I am, and you're this far from me, and you tell me and you shout at me that your name is me. I did this, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and he kept talking, but I knew I just had to hold it. Anyway, there was serious physical threat, and I'm not kidding about that, and there was a lot of people outside that were able to see that. Now, I'm also schizophrenic. I've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, delusional disorder, brief psychotic episode. And people don't believe you after you've been diagnosed like that. So I need to have a picture to show people, to say this really happened. And at the very least, I need a picture of some witnesses to back me up on that. By the strength of the Almighty above, I hope to bless this shelter today.
Fuck you! And recording us. I want the thing beside him so I can sign up on it. I just want to be contested on Price is Right.
So tell them what you want, because this is talk2dream.news, and they will see that later.
when I go upstairs and bitch to them that I felt unsafe outside and how mean it was because they didn't let me in early. And I actually have a video to back that up, okay? So bitch about all the shit that you don't like, put it right here on video, folks, and it'll go to talk2dream.news later.
Okay, I'll add to that. Sir, this is how a person gets kicked out and not let in.
Salute, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Yep.
But a guy inside did one better, okay, inside the shelter. So the shelter has rules. It's supposed to be a safe place. There's not allowed to be threats of harm. There's definitely not allowed to be weapons. So he gave me a weapon because he knew that the other guy was going to come after me. And he said, kid, you got to defend yourself. So that is really not safe. So I began feeling not safe. So I tried to ask the staff to report that, but the staff, unfortunately, were not willing to listen to me because, like the other people, they kept thinking that I was saying that I'm better than everybody. Really, I'm not. I'm just so... I don't understand.
Don't tell me you posted them, because that will make you gain trouble.
But we're outside.
No, these guys.
I'm filming you right now.
Are you already filming me?
I'm filming you right
You
now.
are in trouble.
Why would you do this?
Take that off.
Now, I tend to not joke around. And when I heard that, I was just... No, I couldn't go back in. I was just too afraid. I know that the definition of criminal harassment in the Canadian legal book is to cause reasonable fear for safety while allowing weapons into a place that's supposed to be a safe place. I'm also delusional, I'm also schizophrenic, diagnosed with all of these other things, and nobody's going to believe me anyway. So I need to have a video picture of the guy to say, hey, that guy there. And I'm getting absolutely no help from anyone. So for some reason, somehow, I ended up in this hotel room here, and it's costing me over $500 a night, or was costing me over $500 a night, and that doesn't include breakfast. There's no breakfast here, so I definitely am getting ripped off here. But you know what? I have nowhere else to go. Like, literally, this is the 5th hotel I walked into. They don't even take cash anymore at hotel rooms, and I don't have a credit card, so what am I supposed to do? So, I'm happy that I have a place to stay so that I can finish this video, I can post it online, I can walk to the hospital and finally say, I am afraid for my life from the Catholic homeless shelter now. And I would like to file a police report, and I would like to know where my belongings are, because they told me they're only going to hold them for 2 weeks, and I called them and then they said I got to come by and pick them up, but I'm too afraid to go there. So what can I do? I would like to press charges against the employees at the Catholic homeless shelter. Please help me. That is why I'm here today in the psychiatric office. However, there is still the real issue of my belongings, the fear I feel, the inappropriate actions of the Catholic employees, and my real need to fix the stuff in Taiwan so that I can get back to my wife, our cats, our house full of belongings, which is where my home really is. Okay, it's time to go.
That's the train station.
My body doesn't like the air in Canada. It's too cold. So I can say literally that I'm allergic to Canada. And I need help to fix all this. So I did write a letter. We did address it to our Holy Father. I'm going to include that in the update to the petition at talk2dream.com.